Howdy, folks. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn. And today for you, I am covering Ready or Not. I'm going to be doing a bit of a review here. This is a game that I've covered in the past because I've actually been playing this game since the beta, folks.
Beta!
I have, at this point, over 300 hours into the game. The game has officially been released, which is why I am re-reviewing said game, because that review is over 2 years old. It's not very well done compared to what I know how to do now, mostly because of me being old and shit. And video editing skills has definitely improved over time. So, what is Ready or Not? Let's start with that for people who don't know. Okay, it's simple. It's the spiritual successor to SWAT 4. And it's really that simple. It's a tactical shooter that is basically SWAT cop type stuff. It's mostly you're dealing with entry team type stuff, but there you go. That's what it is. Now, I'm going to cover what I feel absolutely positive about the game. The atmosphere from stage to stage is great. Each mission feels different, as it should, with various different objectives. It varies from mission to mission. The missions now also have briefings, which is something that it didn't previously have. The briefings aren't bad. I don't think they're great, but they do the job. Now, when it comes to immersion, there's very few games that can equal Ready or Not when it comes to immersion. You know, you really do feel like a SWAT entry team type officer when you are playing the game. And with that being said, when it comes to the immersion, it's got some Tarkov level gunplay. I wouldn't necessarily say it's right as good as Tarkov, but it's pretty damn good. And, you know, all the various guns feel different, all the attachments works differently, things of that nature. And the nice thing is you're not spending 2 hours putting together a gun before going into an op. It really doesn't take long. The graphics I feel are pretty damn solid. The sounds are pretty good. And with all that being said, it leads to some really awesome firefights that will give you a rush. Now, when it comes to the community for the most part is pretty great, actually. I've ran into some real douchebags, but, you know, mostly these are antisocial people who probably shouldn't be socializing out in public. That's just my opinion. Now, when it comes to grinding, there is nothing to grind, especially for your equipment, your body armor, your weapon, well, the body armor that counts for your missions, your optics, your suppressors, your flash hiders, all that stuff. There's no grind for. The only thing that there's grind for is costumes. And boy, oh boy, can those be a bit of a grind, but luckily there's a mod for that, which that is the next thing I'm going to get into, and that is the fact that the game is mod supported, and it is got a very active mod community that definitely keeps the game alive because they do things, everything from weapon cosmetics to where they completely change the look of the weapons. Some of the mods actually changes how the weapons handle, how the AI works. There's map mods, the whole 9 yards. It gets pretty ridiculous on the amount of mods there is, and honestly, it is just great because you can basically just about mod Ready or Not to do what you want it to do and what you want it to be. Now, of course, you're not going to do anything crazy like having, I don't know, Skyrim dragons flying around, but I don't want that anyway. I'm not playing Skyrim, I'm playing Ready or Not. Anyway, now, with all the great stuff I have said and the shining review so far that I have given Ready or Not here, you would think it is all sunshine and rainbows, but you're wrong. Yeah, I have to say this. To be honest, the 1.0 release, which is the actual release of Ready or Not, to me personally, has been absolutely disappointing. I feel disappointed in the release of the 1.0 update. I feel it is a weak update compared to the Atom update or even some of the previous updates. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot there that is actually an improvement. Some of the maps I feel are they've reworked and I feel are better. The atmosphere on some of the maps is better. Like I said a bit ago, the mission briefings is a real nice touch with the 1.0 update. But with that being said, I've also suffered from everything from really shitty FPS, which this was a game I never had FPS issues with or would rarely have FPS issues with. Connection issues. I've had game crashes. I've played the game with people that's had game crashes. I've had my game locking up. Actually, yes, there's some kind of bug in the police department. When you go to the mission board, it will lock you up and you won't be able to do anything. And to me, that is a game breaking bug because at that point, you have to completely crash the game and relaunch the game, which then you got to sit around and fuck around getting repartied up with people. And it's a bit more complicated doing that when you're with a group of randos, which it's not that bad. I know it sounds kind of bad, but it's not that bad. Um, I kind of like the uniform changes. I kind of disappointed about the uniform changes. They've added some new guns, which really is disappointing in some regards. Not really the best stuff out there. Uh, and honestly, it just keeps going on and on and on about how. Uh, yeah, you know what? This thing has more bugs than the Roach Motel anymore. The game after the Atom update, yeah, it had bugs, it had issues. They fixed a lot of those bugs and issues, but unfortunately, they've actually added new bugs, and it's actually kind of disappointing. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just disappointing. Um, does it? The 1.0 update. I'm going to put it this way. It's fucking raw. Raw, raw. Now, with that being said, can I recommend the game at $50? Yeah, actually, I rather enjoy the game, even with all the bugs and issues and everything else. I actually really have fun with it. And honestly, the stuff that I've been dealing with has been mostly related to the 1.0 update. And it's kind of one of those things that give it time, they're going to fix this stuff. But if you're looking for a clean, smooth running game, yeah, stay away from Ready or Not right now because it is not a clean, smooth running game. Um, Not by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, there you go, folks. After 300 hours of playing Ready or Not, playing since the beta, that is my opinion. Yes, the game is still worth it, but the 1.0 release update is a little disappointing. Anyway, folks, hopefully you all enjoyed my review of Ready or Not. Thank you very much for tuning in and have yourself a wonderful day.